Good day, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. Today, show colors and Ohm's law for you, in case it's handy. Today we're going to show or explain a four-way switch, when to use it, and how it works inside, what's going on in there. So, first off, you only need a four-way switch if you're doing more than two switches. If you're doing one switch, you use a regular switch. If you're using two switches to control a light, you need three-way switches. So you need two of them. But now if you want three or more switches to do one light, this is where a four-way comes in. So it's not as common, but it does pop up every once in a while. So you want to put the four-way switch in between your three-way switches. I left these buttoned up. If you want to see how I terminated those, it's and I explained it all. I have a video on it. I'll put it up top, or you can look for it in my electrical channel. So take a look at that if you need to. So if any of this is handy or helps you out at all, is informative, throw me a subscribe and a like. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get enough subscribers I can even pay for some of this stuff. It is what it is. Getting some nice comments though about helping people, so it's all that matters. So, four-way switch. So we have our main power coming in. It's on a 2-wire. We wired up our three-way. In between our three-ways, we would have a 14-3 wire. So now in this case, we have a 14-3 on either side. From our last three-way switch, we have a 14-2. So a 2 conductor going to our light. So for on our four-way, let me explain here. I did a little handy dandy drawing to try to show it a bit. This is what we're doing. This is just the hots. Neutrals, there's no neutral needed on a switch or a ground. So we're just button them, bang them to the back. Ground the neutrals, twist them together and just make it so that this neutral carries through to your light. That's where it's needed. So here's our three-way and our other three-way. Before, we just had travelers going in between them. What we're doing now is putting in a four-way in between, and you'll see on it, it's just 4 bolts. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. With that, there's a little trick you have to read on it. I'll go through that before I put it on. So now what's happening inside that four-way switch? Inside, when you switch it in one direction, the connection is an X. Cross terminals is where your continuity is. When you flip the switch, continuity switches from your X to straight up and down. So that's your 2 positions on your four-way. There you go. So let's wire this bad boy up. Let's see how she goes. So grounds, again, as I explained before, from your main power, that ground, you attach it to the back of the box, moret it with this one, push it back, get it out of the way. Especially on this one now, you've got 6 wires and you have a ground. So there's 8 in total. On a regular box, and the switch is a little bit bigger, it can get a bit full. So make sure that ground, push it all the way back. When we do our neutral, get it all the way back. So our neutral's coming up, we just want to carry it through. So that's a simple, just splice them together. Okay, throw a 31 moret on that. Always give it a couple of turns with your lines after. And now again, let's just tuck it right back there. Get it right out of the way. Okay. So now we're left with our travelers. Travelers coming up, travelers coming down. Pretty simple to some extent. 2 in, 2 out. Make sure that you do not connect them this way. It will not work. Make sure they're top and bottom. With that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says input and output. So our input coming from this one. So that's the one we want to put on these. Doesn't matter which one left or right, but we got to make sure we put them here. And our output now goes to this one. It goes out to the light. So let's wire those up. Again, as always, make sure you're going clockwise around the screw, not counterclockwise. There we go. Make sure the insulation doesn't go underneath. I just totally messed that up. Talking and thinking at the same time. Apparently I can't do that. I gotta pick one. Wait a minute. There we go. So there's our output. So now our input goes on this one. What I was going to say is just make sure that when you're doing this, the insulation is not under the screw head. Make sure you get a good solid connection. There we go. So let's actually maybe just plug it in, and we'll give her a test right now. Make sure it goes good. Let's put some power to the board. There we go. So there's our three-way, our other three-way, and here's our four-way. So now when doing this, if you had to put in 10 switches, it doesn't matter. The wiring is the same. Just know your input and your output. But you on either end, you have a three-way, and all the ones in the middle. If you had 10 switches, you'd have one on either end, a three-way, and you'd have 8 four-way switches in the middle. And they all wire the same. 2-conductor wire on either end, but 3-conductor for everything in between. So there we go. Hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like to see me do a video on, let me know. And let's fill up the rest of this board. Give me some ideas, and throw me any questions you might have. Hope it helped, and enjoy your day.